The first test we're going to talk about today is the 30-meter sprint test that we did. Sprint test, obviously we're going to look at those first 5, 10, 15, 20 yards that we are going to need over the pitch. Whenever we're cutting, changing direction, we're trying to find space, we're trying to create space, we're trying to get behind that, the defense in a sense, is very important. It's a very big demand for the game of soccer. You know, most of the common misconception is that soccer is just an endurance sport. In reality, what we need to be able to do is really sprint, create those space, find those opportunities that ultimately allow us to get on the ball a little bit quicker, move the ball around a little bit, find that space that ultimately then creates those chances that, you know, are very few and far between in the game of soccer here. So sprinting is very, very important, very vital for what we need to do on the pitch, and it'll tie into then what we're doing when we actually have the ball on our feet. So what we did, 30-meter sprint, basically it's a straight 30 yards run, linear direction, no change of direction at all, no weaving in and out, basically just our straightforward acceleration, our ability to get up to full speed in a sense. For this test, what we basically did is we had our kids start from just a nice little split stance, starting stance, on their go, they took off, they ran 30 yards, we timed them, got a time for them. From this though, what we want to look at is some simple things that we can do in our training session, simple things that we can do at home to ultimately help us just improve on that time a little bit. We understand that given the ages, we know naturally as they grow and they get a little bit older, they're naturally going to get a little bit faster as they get stronger, as they grow. But what are some simple things that we can be doing now at the age of 8, at the age of 10, 12, 13, 14, whatever that might be, that's just going to give them some ideas, some education, some feedback on simple things that they can do to improve that sprint mechanics, to find some strength that's ultimately going to help them on those little 5, 10, 15, 20-yard runs that we're talking about here. So the first one that we're going to look at is what we call a walking lunge. For this, what we're going to do is we're going to start nice and tall. We're going to take a little bit of a lunge step forward. We're going to sink our hips, drop into those hips. What we're really trying to do is create a slight forward lean with our shoulders though, in our chest. Nice flat back. We should have basically a straight line from our chest down basically to our knee. We're going to load that front leg a little bit more. So in a sense, we're really looking at that very aggressive angle in a sense. You know, I know I'm going in that direction though. And in a sense, want all my body, all my movement geared towards going in that direction. So I'm going to really load that front leg. I'm going to hold this position for a second. I'm going to get a nice push from that front leg. I'm going to drive out. I'm going to work on dropping into the other side. So in a sense, for this drill, what we're going to look at, load in, quick little hold. Can we drive out, catch ourselves, working down the pitch, down the field. For this exercise, what we're looking to do, 3 sets, 10 reps per leg. Obviously, it's something that we can do at home. You'll need a little space, whether it's indoor or outdoors, in order to move. It's a great exercise that we can incorporate into our warm-up. I know we talked about, in a sense, a walking lunge for the warm-up. With this one, though, it does tie back into our sprinting mechanics because of that lean, because of that load, because of that angle we're trying to create, and because of that, in a sense, initiation we're trying to get off of that front leg. So that's the first drill we're going to talk about or incorporate as our walking lunge. Second one, it's called a power skip. So sprinting, in a sense, is a power drill. You know, we're looking at how explosive can we be, how much distance can we create, how long can we look at that stride length, that stride frequency, how quickly can we turn over those legs. So power is a very, very important component to that. And that's our ability to create what we call kind of triple extension. Can I get one leg to fully extend while my other leg's flexed in a nice mechanical pattern here. So for this drill, what we're going to do, same thing, it's going to revolve us moving. We're really trying to drive, create some height, extension off this one leg. I got my other leg flexed. But in a sense, I'm trying to create that extension from my hip here. So going for height, we can do it going for distance. What we're really going to try to do for this is 3 sets, 15, 20, 30 yards at a time. You can walk it back, repeat. Same thing, we get our 3 sets down in here. Third drill, it's a split jump. So the same thing, kind of requires a little bit of a power, some power with this one. Now we're just going to tie in some stability with it as well, you know, especially with the landing. So for this one, we're almost going to have that same setup as that walking lunge. So I'm going to slightly sit into my lips. I got that little split stance. I'm loading that front leg. A little bit more centrally located on this one, or my center of mass is going to be a little bit more split now between both legs. But I'm really just trying to create some power, some strength for my hips. I'm going to drive with my arms straight up, and I land right back in that position. Obviously now we're factoring in that stability, so little height, little strength, little power, but now can I decelerate, drop back into that base, find that stability, that support system, go again. Left leg, right leg, same thing, 3 rounds, 10 aside there. Fourth drill, fourth and final drill here. We're just going to tie now, taking that stability a little bit further. We're going to go down to one leg. We've talked about, soccer's a game that really we spend a lot of time on one leg. When we're running, when we're cutting, changing direction, when we're planning to pass, kick, strike a ball, we're really on one leg when we do it. So single leg stability, single leg balance, single leg strength becomes very vital. Ties back into our running mechanics, obviously, because when I'm sprinting and I get that push off, I'm in a sense just on one leg when I'm doing that drill. So for this one, we're going to do a single leg bound, one leg bound. I'm going to start loaded on one leg. I'm working on extension. I'm working on getting that nice push out of my hip. I'm also going to then tie in that stability, that balance, that can I sit into the other side, hold, reset, go again. Okay? So to start, obviously if we want to focus more on balance, shorter steps, more controlled, can I work on getting that balance? When we want to tie it back into the sprinting, now can I start to add some distance to it, a little bit more of a push, a little bit more aggressive, so I can really work on that extension again, getting that nice power, nice glute activation with that one. Same thing with that one, 3 sets, 10 reps aside, 15, 20 yards, kind of somewhere in that distance. Those are the 4 drills that we're going to start with for working on that 30-meter sprint time. Like I said, they're very simple, very basic. The best thing you can do to get faster at running, go out and run fast. Here's some other exercise that will help support that though in a little bit more of a controlled setting.